in yet another case of lack of road access, a pregnant tribal woman from the Bhadradri Doli Gram Panchayat in Telangana had to be carried some 20 kilometers in a makeshift Doli by two men crossing streams, reaching the primary health center. As you can see in those visuals, the pregnant woman having high blood pressure was then shifted to an ambulance where she gave birth. Thankfully, the baby and the mother are okay. My colleague Uma Sudhir joining us for more details on this. And this is a shocking case, Uma. It's extremely unfortunate that because of lack of access, this is the arrangement that had to be made for a basic essential, carrying a pregnant woman to the hospital.
Yes, indeed. Telangana prides itself on, in fact, having 100% institutional delivery, which means all the pregnant women in Telangana are supposed to give birth only in an institution and not on the road or at home or anywhere else. And in this case as well, it's the last mile that seems to be the big challenge, because to the credit of Telangana, they do have a good network of primary health centers and government hospitals across the state. But in this particular one, for instance, from the tribal agency area of Bhadradri Kothagudem, and no road access, and therefore it was a cart that had to be modeled into some kind of a dolly where the men are carrying the woman using a wooden pole, and you can see nylon strings to which she has been tied, and then she's carried across the stream and brought 20 kilometers away to Satyanarayanapuram PHC, from where she once again had to be shifted in a 108 ambulance to the Bhadrachalam area hospital. Just last week, in fact on August 25, we had reported about another case that happened in Nirmal district of Telangana, where once again the last mile access was not there, and they had to carry her across the stream. At that time, the mother in that case gave birth right on the road. In fact, she was on the road for 4 hours, because in that case there is also a report that the ambulance had run out of fuel, and therefore they had to wait for a second ambulance to come and pick her up and shift her to a hospital. So while Telangana is priding itself on its maternal mortality rate and infant mortality rate becoming much better in the last few years, which is factually also given by the NFSH, but the National Family Health Survey, but this last mile connectivity could prove to be a big challenge, and that's where these women are suffering. Very often the arrangement is that if they are in very remote areas, then the woman is shifted a little in advance so that whenever she goes into labor, the delivery can happen in an institution. Last time they told us that she had come into labor 1 month earlier, and that's why it couldn't happen. In this particular case, I've not yet been able to speak to the authorities to know why she was not shifted earlier, if she is living in an area that does not have road access and no ambulance to reach her.
Uma Sudhir, thanks very much for joining us.